Welcome to W League Super League. This is Playday number 8, if I'm not mistaken. No, Playday number 8. We have Infi versus LawLiet as our first game here, and this is the situation right now. Oh, wait a second. That's the situation in this league. We have Infi with 3 wins and 3 losses on the second spot of the table. With 6 games though, that's quite a lot. 11 points. He kind of has to win here because LawLiet is 3-2. If he wins 2-0, then of course he gets 3 points and equalizes with Lin, Infi, and Moon. If it's a 2-1, he gets closer to the top 3 ranks, as then he will be granted 2 points, and Infi needs 1 point to claim the lead in the league, because 1 point or 1 map still grants you 1 point. Here are your players. I don't think for too many of you out there, they need an introduction. This is... Oh, wait a second. Alright. They don't really need an introduction. Infi, a multiple-time world champion. GCS, WCA, you name it. 29 years old from China. Usually a human player. Today he's playing Undead at LawLiet. Vice World Champion of WCA 2016. Leader of the team of Korea in WCA versus China. And always up for a surprise. Amazonia it is. Welcome to the Super League Play Day 8. And I will tinker a little with the colors. And then we are good to go in this best of 3. In red. So, obviously, we do have a keeper. I think the sound is super low. Oh, there we go. Keeper first for LawLiet. The question is Huntress build, Archer build, rushing. We will see. There's a lot of options for Night Elves at tier 1. They will dictate the pace of the game, but Infi being so good with all the races... Oh, LawLiet has to be careful with his Engine of War here. There was a little bit of repair, so he should be fine. He is so good with all the races, you can basically pick whatever matchup suits him the best. And against Night Elf, I think the Undeads, they look the strongest at the moment. Orc is suffering hard. Human is suffering hard. So why not go for Undead? Because Human Mirror would be... or Night Elf Mirror would be quite ballsy against one of the best Night Elf players in the world. Archers it is. With 2 Moonwells, no tech yet. There we go. I was wondering. But yeah, no Huntress opening here for LawLiet. Creeping, of course, a lot with his Treants. Not buffed here in this not nerfed in this version yet. So it's still Keeper craft at the moment. Keeper considered the best starting hero because he has a lockdown with Entangle that also does damage. Great for picking up units. And for creeping, he has these little trees that do quite a bit of damage, more than a ghoul. Speaking of ghouls, Infi with his level 2 here, Unholy Aura. Of course, you can play Undead without a DK. And here comes the Keeper for the first harass. With Entangle, of course, you can pick up those ghouls, but Infi with 2 coils in his mana pool. Skeleton chasing down the Wisp. There's a little bit of creeping going on here with the Treants as blockers. So there will be level 3 for the Keeper. And there is level 3 on the Keeper. And that's the best thing about the Keeper. The super early level 3. Level 2 Entangle or level 2 Treants can help you so much. But this is a 6 ghoul push by Infi. He's teching behind it, 1 crypt only, so no mass ghoul push. But what is he able to accomplish? Mass Exodus from the Wisps here. How many can he get? He doesn't want to use the coils on the Night Elf units because he has to keep his ghouls alive for quite some time. First Entangle, TP out. Nothing was accomplished by Infi in this push. Not even a town portal, not a single unit. I don't think even a single Wisp has been killed. And the tier 2 is at 60%. The Huntress Hall is coming. Everything in order for LawLiet. Are the resources correct? No, they're not. So, of course, I have to work a little on the races. Sorry for that production issue. There we go. So Infi, what's your plan? You kind of need to throw back the Night Elf a little. Otherwise, with Dryads and Keeper, He is way too strong. But on the other side, there wasn't a single ghoul kill, if I saw that correctly. There was no acolyte kill at all. There should be a coil. Yes, there is. In time, saves this ghoul. And now, with the arrow, wow, nice surround by Infi. With the arrow, I was too used to Naga. With a slow from the main building, he gets that kill. There is another coil here to save this ghoul. Oh no! What a mistake by LawLiet. Infi able to fight... by Infi, I mean. LawLiet able to fight out without using a town portal. He just lost a lot of health. So the Infi did the mistake, of course, letting him out of that surround. So he still has a good amount of ghouls. And that's excellent for creeping and the early late game, because you kind of need that meat shield to protect your fiends, to have something during the transition to tier 3. And of course, it is the Slaughterhouse for stat use. We have an Alchemist third, the Poison Ivy, the Acid Bomb plus Roots combo comes into play. And in his base, we have double Engine of Lore. He stays at tier 2. No Hippo Riders against the air, just Dryads from what we can see. Class of Attack, pretty nice item. Same goes for the Ring of Protection. Usually a pretty crappy item for every hero. But since the Alchemist is starting with 1 armor only, he is incredibly squishy against physical attacks, which the ghouls have a lot of. So having the Ring of Protection plus 2 is quite a big help. Level 2 hero coming out. It is the Lich, and the DK arrives in time. Well played by Infi. It's absolutely astonishing how good the Chinese is with all 4 races. He can just pick it as he wants to. Whatever floats his boat, whatever he needs against his opponent's matchup, and that makes it incredibly hard to prepare against him. Same goes for TH. Same can maybe be said about 120, who can also play Orc. But Infi and TH, they are outstanding in that regard. Incredible talent. So LawLiet keeps on harassing, gets this kill, but no level 4. The first Fiend is coming against the Dryads with their piercing damage, obviously. There's not gonna be a slow, so the Keeper just walks out. Has the Boots of Speed, quite a big of an investment. 250 gold from the shop into this item, but so worth it to get out of surrounds. Lich started to creep up a little as well. Alchemist close to level 2 for the Chemical Rage. But the first Dryads are coming, and tier 3. And then the question is, Mountain Giants or Bears? Bears would be nice for Rejuvenation, for Roar. They don't have the biggest damage, and against magic damage, they don't tank too much. Mountain Giants take a little longer to get online because they need resistant skin, they need hardened skin, they don't do damage at all except to buildings, but they tank so much. The thing with tanks in Warcraft is you can ignore them. And it is Bears. We're going back to the 1.29 meta, the European meta. And no Mountain Giants in this game. I think this will be cool for Infi, as he plays against something he's really used to. Is the sound alright, by the way? I hope so. Why not both? Well, a little expensive, isn't it? Big healing potion and the Robe of the Magi. Pretty good against Hero Nuke, and that's very good for the Keeper of the Grove. But yeah, level 3 for him. Acid Bomb level 2. Is an AoE Orb of Corruption, boys. That is insanely strong, especially against the group of ghouls. LawLiet, no expansion though. Usually Night Elves expand very early. Thank you for the feedback. Very early. Foggy always at tier 1. Moon as early as he can. On the other side we have the Tinker, which doesn't feel very intuitive because he isn't an undead hero. He cannot be coiled. But the Pocket Factory is exactly designed for that, cancelling expansions, knocking down expansions with the Clockwork Goblins and their normal damage. He's also pretty tanky with 6 armor, so that's fine. Very passive game by both players. Only a little PvE. Infi tried to harass. There's no town portal on Infi, by the way. Ah, there is on the Tinker, I'm sorry. A staff, a belt. The items are not that overwhelming, but here comes the first big push by Infi. While LawLiet is busy with the rat spot, Statue sees it, so he knows that he has a lot of time for this push. But here comes the Alchemist with the before... Oh, Town Portal even. He forgot a lot of his army. So a little lucky that Infi is abandoning this push. But he forced the TP. He got some gold out of LawLiet, but there was a little time. Oh, he has this bear cute, which is not good. No additional Moonwells coming. So he stays at 50. No expansion either. And Infi, is he getting ready for over 50 supply? No, not really. So we have one Destroyer, a bunch of ghouls still, a bunch of Fiends, 2 statues on the ground for healing and mana.
A player's forces are under attack.
Very, very greedy by both players. If you might turn down the music a little. Alright, we do have the time. Okay, I hope that's fine. Level 3 DK. Not a level 3 Lich, but a level 2 Tinker. That helps a little with the stats. But LawLiet wants to engage here now. 50 versus 50 food. Alchemist already in the Chemical Rage mode. He has the Warsong Battle Jumps. That's maybe a game-changing item. 10% damage on everything. In the meantime, the Clockwork Goblins destroy the Engine of War. He doesn't really need this building anymore, but it would be nice if he sets up an expansion to have it as a static defense. Still only 2 bears. 600, 700 gold for LawLiet. And Infi is right around the corner. If he starts the red spot here now, it's gonna be a disaster.
A town is under siege.
Infi is looking for it, doesn't see it though, nighttime. And LawLiet does a good job in luring out the creeps so they don't do damage. You position your army here, you lure out the creeps so when they move back, they don't attack. But Infi is attacking in the main base with all those ghouls. Oh no! He gets the surround on the Alchemist here right next to the Tree of Eternity. He's fighting out though with the Chemical Rage. Can he escape? The Moon Juice is empty. He needs some kind of a potion. Has it in the inventory. Back in the base, he's slaying those wisps. And yeah, damage was done. Nice little acid bomb on the ghouls in the back. Level 3 for the Lich. That was absolutely worth the Town Portal. LawLiet didn't move his army back though. He creeps the Granite Golem, so both big items go to the Night Elf, and it's 2 amazing auras. We do have the Warsong Battle Jumps for more damage. We do have the Unholy Aura for more HP regeneration and movement speed. So this Alchemist is a race car now, with his Chemical Rage and the Aura. And we have the boots on the Keeper, so it's not that easy. And now Infi sees, damn, this entire map is crept already. So how far did he throw back LawLiet? Not too much, I'd say. He purchases a Shredder. He rebuilds the Engine of War. That's certainly interesting. So with the Shredder, he has enough lumber income to go for more bears. Breaking upkeep. Infi is doing the same with more abominations and the new disease cloud with 2 damage per second.
Are under attack.
And that's great. You just need to position the abomination close to the Dryads. Then they have this disease and they take damage. And then you can't use the Moon Juice too much anymore, because everything is hurt. And Infi calls for the GG! A little anticlimactic, but that's the renowned Infi. Without a big fight, he thinks the hero combo is too good, the items are too good. But is that really the case? I mean, there was no expansion up. Usually you can always fight with one base. Against, like, with Undead versus Night Elf. And that is something that Infi is known for. Getting tilted, or getting triggered, tapping out too early. And that's why sometimes we call it not GG, but Infi. The lack of the fighting spirit of Infi, man. The final of Masters Colosseum, still in our heads. In summer, if you're new to Warcraft here, we had a big tournament in the summer, the Masters Colosseum, with the biggest prize pool of the year, and Infi was in the final against 120, and he tilted 3 times in less than 5 minutes. Infi then donated his entire prize pool, prize money he got from that tournament for a new cup, and asks for forgiveness, but now he's back. Unfortunately. So 1-0 lead for LawLiet, who stands now at 9 points, closing in on 120, Moon, Infi, and Lin. Yeah. Yeah, quite obvious that the flames are coming now. It didn't look too bad, I think. I mean, the 2 red spots going to LawLiet is a really big thing. But it was only bears. It wasn't like an overwhelming armada of mountain giants or something. Wait, armada was something with ships, right? I said this before, and it was wrong, and I don't remember it really. So, I mean, there was no boneyard transition. There was no mass destroyers, but there were abominations coming in. I don't really understand it, but alright. 1-0 for the Korean. If he wins the second map as well, then he gets 3 points in the W League, equalizing with Moon, Infi, and Lin. So, the map is Last Refuge. This is one of the best undead maps, and of course, Infi stays as undead. Resources are correct. LawLiet's color is not. I will be the happiest man when this overlay is working again. Automatically, and I don't have to do that stuff. In the upper right, representing the Night Elves from Korea, is LawLiet. And in the bottom left, representing basically every race but undead today, is Infi. LawLiet will have another game later on against Lin, which is an insane task because Lin is by far the best Orc versus Night Elf player in the world. And LawLiet has quite a bad track record versus the ultimate weapon of Warcraft 3. We see a Demon Hunter. No Keeper of the Grove for LawLiet. That is pretty interesting, because Keeper is all the rage in nowadays meta. But before we go into that game, we have quite a few subs to thank, I guess. Jellyfish, thank you. Bobacht, well, we had that one already. Drakatos for the 9-month resub. Wow, wow, baby rage. Let's call it Reforged. Enjoying the league while having the flu. Back to Warcraft Pain. Keep up the usual work. Thank you very much and get better soon. And Silly Anikea with a 20-month resub. Hype. He says, alright. Let's see how much hype there is with the Demon Hunter as a first hero. Is a very good disabler. He has the mana burn ability. So, since the undead heroes are relying so much on their nukes, on Coil, on Nova, and whatever you choose third, the Demon Hunter is a natural counterpick against this race. And he's very tanky as well. With evasion, being an agility hero, he has high armor. So it's not that easy to knock him down compared to a Keeper in late game who just explodes against Coil, Nova, Focus. In the end, on Infi's side, we have the only choice, basically, for undeads. It's the DK. The Unholy Aura is just too good. The Coil is just too necessary. There is no other option for undead to heal except standing on Blight than using the Coil. So this is what the undeads are going for. Tier 2, only 3 ghouls. It's a Fiend build. It's a Tet Fiend build against Night Elf. I like this very much because I don't think the ghouls do too much against the Alchemist once the Acid Bomb is on 2. And the harasses weren't that great by Infi. We can't say that much. One attack was nice, the second one. But before, he didn't really do damage. He didn't delay LawLiet's play. Who is on level 2 already, found the Sentry Wards. As Last Refuge is quite of a big map with a lot of lanes to walk on. Sentry Wards are always nice, especially with Ultra Vision, which he doesn't have yet, but kind of first blood here, right? So he will most likely get a lot of vision. Not making use of the huntress here in this entire best of 3 against Undead. That's understandable though. Undead always going for fiends. Killing them early. They're just putting their feet in the water here, as it seems. How far can I go? How deep is it? Can I delay my my opponent's leveling? And that works quite well for both. I mean, it's a little better for LawLiet who got his natural spot here. And has level 2, but the DK is far away from the so necessary level 3. Thank you, Pudgy, for the 12th month. 1 year, man. Thank you. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Ultra Vision doesn't work on Sentry Watts. No. Maybe I put that wrongly. But if you have Ultra Vision, you have more vision already. Especially during night. And then if you have Sentry Watts, you have even more vision on top of the extra vision you have compared to your opponent who doesn't have Ultra Vision. Yeah, maybe I'm talking a little too fast for my thoughts and I'm forgetting what I'm about to explain. So I wouldn't be a good teacher, that's for sure. So the first units are coming out for Infi. He prevented level 3, but now there's boots on the Demon Hunter and that changes so much. If there's no Unholy Aura, there's going to be constant mana burns, there's constant right clicks because he can always catch up with the Demon Hunter. And that's exactly what's happening here. Naga second to slow him down, but he didn't use the Frost Arrow, didn't enable it. And so the Demon Hunter is still quite fast and no Lich. He's rushing tier 3 though, so the Lich will be there. But it's a little more control with the Frost Arrow. It is immediate damage and a little bit of map control is absolutely necessary now to get that XP, to get the Unholy Aura, to make the Naga a little faster. Naga could also use boots. Here's the Alchemist. Oh, he's the second Naga. He's going for the DK. He's going hard for the DK and forces the town portal. A little bit of tongue muscle memory here, saying that he goes for an Alchemist, which wasn't true at all. Lores now after the second hero. And now map control is back on LawLiet's side. With boots and slow. And so he has the time to creep the mercenary camp, while Infi only starting with the little green spots here, making his way over to the expansion most likely. Then the green ones that should be close to level 3 for him then. Sacrificial Skull. Must be for creeping because there's no 6th Acolyte. Slaughterhouse for the statues and destroyers. Alright. On Blight, undead units and heroes regenerate a little faster. So he uses the pretty cheap skull to produce that Blight and to have a little bit more HP. But here comes the Wisp. He can detonate against it. Boom. There we go. Subi Mask though. Increasing mana regeneration. And against the Demon Hunter, that is a phenomenal item. And here's level 2. Naga with Fork Lightning as well. But True Shot Aura for the Demon Hunter. Oh yeah. As he's going Dryads and tier 3, there should be a bunch of Dryads coming out, as I don't see an Engine of Wind at all. Thank you, Danger Wisp, for the 16-month resub. Demon Hunter is playing with fire. If a DK comes around, he would be dead right now. Threshold is 70. For coil level 1. Do have agility. Did he sell the item? I don't see it. Maybe he did. But alright, close to level 3. And then mana burn gets insanely strong with 100 burnt mana and damage. Against the DK with only 270 mana pool. So first Dryad is out. Bear upgrade very early though. He's giving the map back to Infi. I mean, he stole his shop, but now he's giving it back to Infi, giving him a lot of time for the level 3. Maybe he thinks that he can't prevent it anymore without a keeper. And only the Demon Hunter. It is the Lich third, so the good old heavy right-click combo. I mean, not the DK too much, but this is more right-click damage than the Tinker combo that we've seen in the first game. And since LawLiet is not going for an expansion, there's no need for a Tinker. LawLiet was the king of the Night Elves in the last race war we had. He defeated basically the entire undead team single-handedly. He was struggling a little when patch 1.30 came out, but he seems to be back with his superior one-base play. That no one else plays like this. Everyone is going for expansions, not this guy, who's once again getting the red spots. So in 2 maps, this is the 3rd out of 4 red spots for the Korean, and the Demon Hunter just got a lot more tanky. Infi has to get this one. There's no way around it. Healthstone for him, the so important Orb of Corruption. For minus armor, for better focusing. Naga's level 3 as well. Bear is out, Rejuvenation is usable, and the Master Training is finished as well. 48 supply for LawLiet. Helm of Valor on this side as well. Not that helpful for the Undead. A little bit of attack speed and HP for the Lich. But of course, he was hoping for something else. He saw in the game before that his opponent got 2 auras, and now his first red spot, and he only finds the Helm of Valor. But LawLiet feels safe. LawLiet feels so safe that he can go for an Expo attempt. And Infi, compared to 1-2-0, isn't scouting too much at this stage of the game. We've seen a lot of skeletons early, roaming around, trying to find his opponent, but not anymore. This ward, of course, reveals a little bit, but Infi is dodging it quite a bit. Demon Hunter level 4, close to level 4, also have the Healthstone. Both of them have.
Player's forces are under attack.
He keeps the Rings of Protection. That's interesting. Usually always a sell, except for the Alchemist. Little break here. Infi, maybe some spikes. They happen on NetEase. So I think it's a 50-50 fight, right? I'm pretty sure it's certainly 50 for Infi, and since LawLiet just built the expansion, I think he must be at 50 as well, or 48. So yeah, usually the breaks are not that long if it's only a spike or whatever. I'm really curious if Infi and TH are just hiding their human tactics that they came up with, or if they're really that desperate. I mean, the World Championship is around the corner, 2.5 weeks, and then we're going to Shanghai with 5 Europeans and 2 Americans. Or, yeah, are they really that desperate? It would be so insane if all of a sudden they found the timings to battle the Keeper. By the way, if you're not aware, Walter cannot go to WGL. He is replaced by Danger. And of course, the Peruvian Pride Hunter is playing as well. For America. By the way, if Americans are watching, every Sunday there is a weekly cup for you guys. The Geno Z Cup. Okay, Infi is ready. And off we go. DK a little bit intercepted, but the Dryads are not fast enough. 5 Fiends. That's a lot of damage in Infi's army. He's breaking upkeep immediately. And it's only 3 bears, but the heroes are strong. Mana burn immediately, but wow, that nuke on the Demon Hunter! He has to consume the health stone, like, right away. So no additional HP regeneration anymore, but the DK is completely burned out. It's going hard on the right clicks. 1 bear's falling in the front. Fiends are getting killed as well. Level 4 on the Demon Hunter finally continues to burn the heroes. Now goes on to the Lich, who doesn't have a Nova anymore, but the bears are falling. Nice right click damage. Here comes the Fork Lightning. Lich is dead, and the Orb of Corruption is gone. TP out. Can he get that Naga? He's trying. No, not enough damage. Also not getting the Fiend, who has the better end of this fight. Hero kill, of course, is the big thing. The bears are all gone, though. Oh, except this one who was staffed out. He can immediately reproduce them. He's immediately back at 50. 54 for Infi still. And the question is, can he keep this Expo up? If yes, the game should be his. He's scouting for it, though. And he has to. Naga is creeping a little more for a stronger for a stronger ice arrow. He's not scouting for it. He's not scouting the position of the red spot. That's brutal. He was like 5 meters away. I don't know if he can push it though, with only piercing and magic damage. It's not that easy. Sends out the illusions now to creep. But the Demon Hunter is getting dangerously close to level 5. And parry up the vitality. That hero nuke won't work as well as in the fight before. How much of a big deal is it if the Night Elves expand versus Undead? So, if you play one base, Undead is slightly favored in this matchup. If Night Elves have an expansion, they are favored because they can reproduce stuff so quickly. They feed the Undead a little if they produce too many Dryads, for example, and then they can rise in heroes. But at one point, it should be an overwhelming mass of units for the Night Elves, especially if they transition into Hippos, which are basically the best anti-air unit for Night Elves. And as you can see, those two destroyers, they need to be taken out. But here's the next fight. 58 supply for LawLiet versus 58 by Infi. Close fight here. We do have an invul potion this time on the Naga, as she cannot be caught, but the Demon Hunter has the same. Staff out on that bear. This time we have an abomination in the fight, spreading the disease. So 2 damage per second on all those units. DK is quite low though. No TP anymore. No item at all. He's blocking with the bear. Great play by LawLiet, and that's the GG. You can't fight without DK. Everyone knows it. 2-0 for the Korean against Infi, now at 11 points himself. Making the top trio a top quartet? Is it called that way? I don't know. Very disappointing performance by Infi as Undead here, but playing Undead against one of the best Night Elf versus Undead players is your own fault, I guess. And it wasn't too inspiring here, to be honest. The ghoul pushes didn't work at all. LawLiet defended them all well with a little wisp exodus, prevented that damage. And my internet is crapping out. Oh, fuck. Okay, there's a little connection issue. But this game is over anyway. LawLiet now at the top of the league with 11 points, same as Lin, Infi, and Moon. Next game will be Fly versus 120. Can't wait. Be right back.